This is a tricky one. I've been in this game since the 80s, maybe earlier. Yeah, I'm a real dinosaur. But in those days, when I played relics like Space Invaders on the Atari 2600, Black Belt on the Master System, RC Pro-Am on the NES, it's really hard to say which game sealed my fate in gaming. So today's question is, what game got you hooked?
Alright, what game got me hooked on video games? Well, I am and I've always been a huge fan of NES, so I started off with games such as Super Mario, Miss Pac-Man, Joe and Mac, and maybe my favorite game from then and the one that I really started with would have to be Galaxias. When I played Galaxias, I was hooked. Like every level was challenging and I just wanted to play more.
The game that got me actually hooked on video games would be, of course, Super Mario Bros. Because it is Mario, why not? And Grand Theft Auto Vice City, because I actually tried to tackle that game when I saw my dad's friend doing it, and then I invested a whole lot of hours on that, until the PS2 got taken away.
Put bullets in your guns in the hopes that maybe you get to shoot someone, huh?
Right, so the games that really got me hooked into video games, the Mario series, the Nintendo series comes with Mario, Track and Field, and Duck Hunt. I was just really good at those games. It was very easy, especially I was really good at the hurdles and the javelin throws. So it made me feel like a pro. I think that was the reason, but then I started, my second game was James Bond, and then I found out I'm not good at games.
So the game that had me hooked was the Super Mario Brothers on the original NES. The feeling was amazing. I can remember how addictive I got to that game. At the first level, I can remember like dying multiple times.
The game that got me hooked was, and I'm traveling way back, this is when in my childhood days, the days of my Atari, my Asteroids. I like the fact that it never ends, so I always try to beat my previous score. And then after I got hooked on that, I saw that my Atari had other games. So I started playing stuff like Battleground, Food Fight, other games like Pac-Man, and also, don't judge me, I also play Miss Spider's Tea Party. That's one of my childhood favorites, don't judge me.
I must find all my friends, you know, before I'm brave enough to go.
Well, the game that actually got me into video games, and I've played a lot of video games. It's funny, I'm the Nintendo guy, right? And you would really think that I started off with Nintendo, but I didn't. I actually played a Sega Master System before I got to the NES, but like the game that got me in was from the arcades. I'm an Arcadian, and that arcade is actually Star Wars. Long story here. So I always wanted to just get home in time to go watch cartoons, and my father stopped by a grocery store and he was like, he wanted to talk to his friends, and I'm like, Dad, I want to go home. I want to play some video games. No, not play some video games, but like, I just want to go home and actually, you know, watch some cartoons. And he was like, go play some video games. And I'm like, huh? And I saw a Star Wars machine there. He got 4 quarters, he gave it to me. I got a crate. I put it in front of the arcade. I stood up on top of it, and I was just out, because the way the control is, I was busting through the lanes and shooting up the enemies, and a guy came and he was like, you played this before? And I was a little kid too, I was like 4, and I was like, no. And he was like, yo, you're really good. And I was like, I felt so good about myself because he thought I was good at the video games. And then from there, that was it. Got into the Master System, went backwards to the ColecoVision, the Intellivision, the Vectrex. Then I came back around to the NES, and I just played so many different games, from Ultima, The Legend of Zelda, Dragon Warrior. Oh man, it's Alex Kidd and so many games, it's ridiculous. But the game that actually got me hooked to video games, Star Wars, the arcade.
Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below or on Twitter which game sealed the deal for you. If you like my content, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I've created a Patreon page. Should you feel inclined, become a Patreon and help this weak-ass channel out. On the other hand, if for some reason this vid pissed you off, then hey, take necessary action, man. The dislike and unsubscribe buttons aren't there for show. Either way, I won't hold it against you. Our game is never over.